There's one topic that we had that was really good one, Isaiah. You showed the other day that you finally learned what it was the timeline in VS Code.
Oh my
That's a
God.
really
Yeah,
great one
that
to
was
teach.
a very it's just like I knew what it was. I never had a use for it until a few days ago when I realized, holy crap, that saved me. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So in VS Code, you have many options. Again, that's why Joe says like this is the Ferrari of the editors. It is like it has so many things, but again, at the same time, you use kind of like nothing. You use just a few, right? But since I started using VS Code, there was this section here called timeline in the Explorer view. So when you open the Explorer view and you can see your files, you'll have this timeline. It is collapsed by default. Let me make it smaller here, bigger. I mean, like it is collapsed by default. And the first time I saw it, I was like, local history to have them. What? And source control has not. I said like local history isn't like that like an undo, so you can have an undo. That's what I thought. Okay, so and then I never really paid attention to it. Many other times I opened a different file. So let's go ahead and open a different file. And I saw this. Yeah, file saved, file saved. And I was like, yeah, what is that? Like, yeah. And at that point, I didn't pay much attention to it. I clicked on it and it looked like, yeah, that's it, nothing. So what's the problem? What is this for? What is this used for? Useful for? I think it was I don't know what it was. One of the scripts that we were looking at. Let me see what it was. I don't know. I think it was that the same that I had it, like this branching this file by mistake I had overwritten it. Now, funny thing. So once you save your files, you can undo all you want. So you can type something, hit enter, and then later on you just do Control Z and you can go back to where it was. But once you save your file and you close VS Code, your undo buffer goes away, which I know. So I cannot do Control Z to undo. But then you do have source control. You have Git that you can go ahead and look at the changes and track it down and say, okay, whatever. And even if you don't have Git, on the other hand, you have Dropbox. So that file was on Dropbox, all right? So it's so just that, or well, that's what I thought. I thought the file was on Dropbox. So we replaced the information. I closed VS Code. And then I realized the file was not in Dropbox. And I was like, holy crap. So I cannot use Dropbox to come back. I cannot use Control Z to come back either because we closed the file. How can I retrieve what was there? That's when it kind of like, maybe the timeline? Let me go there. I checked, I didn't have source control in it. So that's when I opened the timeline. The timeline had information for about what, 2 weeks? Which is great because then I would be able to go back in time until I found the part of the file that I needed. So this in here works as if it was Git. It works the same as Git,
So local
even
version.
if you don't have Git configured.
So it's like local versioning. Every time I save
It
the
is
file, it's the previous state of the next.
exactly. So this is
Ah.
and this is the cool thing. It's not Control Z. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going backwards. It's actually that you click here and you see what you changed. I can tell exactly that I changed that one into a 3. That's what I did in that change. So it's version control specifically. And then I could go back. And as you can see, I can keep going back and I can definitely go back to when the file was created 2 weeks ago. That was crazy to me. Like I was like,
which
okay.
side on your screen is the file that's the live file as opposed to the timeline file? Which side of the screen are we looking at?
Okay, so the left side is the original file, and the right side is the change that happened when this was saved.
Okay.
So every single one of these points on the left, when you click on it, what you're looking at is this right side is that save right there.
Now,
Now, what you're
highlighted in
looking at,
red is different.
and then on the left, you're looking at what was in there before that save happened. So I would definitely just look at the file saved as the one on the right, always. Everything you do is the one on the right. That's it. Now, if you want to know what was there beforehand, then it would be whatever is on the left. You can compare the two. And then, of course, as with source control, you have these controls to revert the selection. So that means, oh, I want to, so especially when we have few changes like this. Oh, this change, I don't like it. I want to go back to the 5. So you can go revert that one only. Just that one change.
It's not doing the whole file. It's doing the
No,
line.
it's not the whole file. I can go and say, okay, and you can select a section too. I can select all this and say, you know what? I want to do that selection. Or, well, it says revert block. What was it? I saw one that said revert selection or something. Let me see. Hold on. I saw it a few seconds ago. That's a whole block. It seems to me that the whole block is there. But let me go back here. Let me do this. By the way, the file in here is totally editable, so you can go ahead and edit whatever you want. But here, I can select something, and I think it says revert. Oh, no, that's the whole block. Okay. I don't know what it was. It said reverse selection. I don't know. But whatever. The point is you can revert parts of the code instead of everything all at once. I would assume that you could do the whole thing too. I don't know if you select everything, I guess. Yeah. Well, no, I think it can do. There has to be a way, okay? The point is, for me, that was, oh, well, I just select the whole thing, copy and paste it, dude. That's it. You just copy paste and you're good to go, right? So in any case, that was an aha for me. Like even, so there's a few things. If you don't have Git installed or Git configured, I don't know if you have to have Git installed for that. I don't know. You see, that's a good question. I don't know. It looks like a Git kind of thing.
Hey, Isaias,
yeah.
Well, if I'm wrong, can't you create a sandbox and try that?
Yeah, sure.
And I was just say we all are probably familiar with Awesome Powers and Mini Me. This is Mini Git. Like this is just,
exactly
because it does. It only goes 2 weeks, right? That's what we Googled.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a hard set thing. You might be able to change it, but
yeah, it does have a limit. It's not like you have unlimited save space, but it was so cool that I was like, and then again, the situation here is you do not have Git configured, at least. You did not save it you did not save the file on a spot that you have a Dropbox or OneDrive thing, and you don't have backups of the file, but you did edit it in VS Code, then the timeline feature might be a saver sometimes.
Well, especially because that's what, I'm doing everything in Dropbox. I can go back and look at the versions, but I can't grab just a sliver, I want to keep this piece, right? I have to go do that myself. So that's what becomes like,
the whole file, right?
Very nice. Yeah.
I don't have Git installed on my VS Code for my Electron project. I just clicked on one of the files. It's showing the save files that I've changed that with.
Okay.
So you don't need to have Git installed because I don't have it installed on my VS Code.
There you go. That's a great little insight. So that's great. That's powerful, because the point is, if you are in a little bit of a pinch here, oh my God, I just modified the file. I cannot go back. I don't have undo. I saved and closed. How can I fix that? Yeah.
Let's do this as a test. What will happen if Irfan goes and edits that file? What will you see in your? Will you see it at all that the change happened?
Let's see. I think so. I think it might, because again, I think that is saved locally in the file. So I'm going to go to the S drive. Let's go to prompt assistant, for example. Let me open the file first, all right, to see what I got. And let's have Irfan modify it. So here, let's close all these guys here. Here's the timeline for that. Oh, look at that, 2 months ago. Joe, I think, hold on, timeline. No, but those are my Git commits. So this doesn't count. No, because this is actually looking at the Git repository, which is great. So the timeline actually gives you not only its own little thing, but also the Git repository if you have one.
Is your icon, the icon next to the file looks a little different than mine. So maybe that's telling it's Git. On your timeline, on those files that are in Git, maybe that icon.
Yes, those are, yeah, they have this little, that's how I realized that they were in Git. Yeah, because those look like commit icons, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't look at my timeline icon that I have.
No, exactly. So let me try to go to one that does not have anything like that. I think, yeah, this has a Git repository. Now it's going to be very hard to find one that doesn't have one. Okay, here. Let me see. Timeline. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to be something like time. I don't have anything here. All right. So this says 3 weeks ago. All right. So July. 3 weeks ago, and the latest was 3 weeks ago. So that's still a long time, eh? I don't know what the limit is. I have no idea what the limit is. But so now let me send Irfan this particular path. I think I've got.
I'm looking at my oldest one. This one, it's over 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. Okay.
So maybe it's a number of local files or something. I don't know.
Or a size of a file, right? That could be. That could be. All right. So I just sent the path. I don't know if your friend is there. You can go ahead and.
Yes, I'm there.
I sent it on the group. So what you're going to do is try to open it in the S code and probably share your screen too. And go ahead and look at the timeline if you can.
Let me share my screen first and file. Okay, so I have that file open. This one, yeah. So should I made a change anywhere else?
Look at the timeline first.
Oh.
The timeline is, yeah, well, you have to go to the Explorer window on the left. No, not here. Or did you move it? No. Go to the Explorer on the left, the 2 little papers there. If you don't have the timeline here, right click on there it is, timeline. There you go. Oh, is that like per person? No, hold on. Let's do this. Open the folder. So click on file. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, so open the folder itself in VS Code. That's interesting. So that would be a local thing. Click on last opened and clicked. No.
This.
No, not that one. That one. Oh, wow. That's a local thing.
Yeah.
All right. So he keeps track of the changes that he had made.
Now, Irfan, make a change.
Right.
Where is my Git graph in there?
There is no Git graph. This doesn't have a Git repository.
We purposely.
This is not. Yeah, this is not.
Yeah, I know. That's perfect. That's exactly why. Because in my end, I don't have a Git repository either, and it has a timeline.
So Irfan, on line two, make a comment.
Yeah, add a comment.
And then save it and close it just to make sure that we're completely making it where it's most likely to work. And then Isaias, after he does that, you reopen it.
Yeah.
And see if there's any. Obviously, you'll see that text, right? We're not saying that, but in the timeline, does it actually highlight that? Like, that'll be interesting.
That's a great question. I'm thinking no.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So as far as I'm looking, it looks like a local thing.
Yeah.
All right. So you see the file saved there. So in his end, I do have 2 files saved. All right. Right, there it goes. Now, so let's go ahead and share my screen again. And this is the file. Let me look at that. Still 3 weeks. Let's reload. Still 3 weeks. Let me close it completely and open it just in case. Still 3 weeks. Yeah, that is a totally local thing. I do see the change. Oh, what? Hold on. That's interesting. Oh, look at that, Joe. So in my version control, now his line shows
Right.
as if I made the change. That's
Right.
interesting. Okay. And but here in all my other changes, that line shows up because it's comparing the current file in comparison to the last one that it had saved. But again, it's a local thing anyways. But again, the comparison is against what I had.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's very cool, actually. I was not expecting that at all. Cool.
If it was Git repository, it would show my name, I think.
Of
Right.
course. So that's the part. So the idea here is, when would I use that feature? All right. So of course, having a Git repository is better. Of course, saving in Dropbox might save your headaches, right? So of course. But sometimes you find yourself in the situation you didn't save the file in online box like OneDrive, Dropbox, or whatever.